The one piece of advice I would give to anyone who doesn't even know like where to start to like build their personal brand, or like even before you understand what you're going to do with your life, here are the 3 ingredients, Savvy Faith. You just decide that you are going to always be these 3 qualities. No matter what else you are, you need to be these 3 things. You need to be super kind, be super, super nice to people, be very friendly, just be a kind person, someone who's known for like having positive interactions. Okay. You don't need to be over the top. You don't need to be anything, you don't have to jump off the page. You don't have to be doing cartwheels or be a cheerleader, but you have to be kind. The second thing, you just have to work hard. People value hard work. In every culture, every religion, kindness and hard work are 2 essential ingredients to being a good human being. And the third one is just being honest, like actually like really making sure that you tell the truth about like, and be genuine. And if you are kind and you are hardworking and you are honest, then you can be anything else you want to be. You can be police officer, nurse, landscaper, janitor, orthodontist, and you really will be okay. But if you decide to skimp on any of those one of those 3 things, nothing will work.
Welcome to Savvy Talk Podcast. Today I'm here with Cole, and we're going to talk a little bit about his business journey and how he relates to teens. So Cole, how did you get into orthodontics?
My decision to become an orthodontist was totally done by accident. I don't think that orthodontics was plan A or B or C. It was probably non-existent until I had a conversation with my would-be wife, Dacia. So we met in high school. She was a little freshman. I was a junior. We started dating. And by the time that things got serious, she wanted to know, like, hey, if we end up together, like, what are you going to do? And this is my plan. Just picture like a 17, 18-year-old kid being like, okay, well, what can I do? None of my family had gone to college ever. My mom had got pregnant in high school and had my oldest brother. Like, we were not a family that has had much education. My dad was a janitor for the school system and for like local churches and businesses. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I had a lawnmower and I had worked at Battle Creek Golf Course doing maintenance and landscaping and stuff. So I thought I'll try to get a truck and then I'll mow people's lawns for a living. And then I just added to my conversation with Dacia. And as I'm telling her my plan, she's just like, okay, that's nice. And then I finally divulged to her, like, oh yeah, by the way, I want a bunch of kids. Because I grew up with like a huge family. Wanted a bunch of kids just like I grew up with. I have 6 brothers and 5 sisters. So there's 12 of us, right?
Holy moly.
Crazy, super poor, but like great. Was super happy. I loved my childhood. I had some difficulties just because of the dynamics and where my parents were at. And but it was his loving home. And I was like, yeah, I'll just be a landscaper and mow some lawns and have a bunch of kids. And my wife saw that might not work. And so she goes, hey, well, why don't you do something? You know, it seems like you're super smart and you do good in school. Maybe you could do that. And I was like, well, basically my question was, well, what would it take for us to get married and me to be able to have a bunch of kids with you? And she's like, well, you'd have to be like a doctor or something. And this is like a 17-year-old girl saying this. And I'm like,
yeah,
doctor, what kind of, I'm like, and so I go do my research. Back then, the internet was like super, super new. So I get on dial-up. I'm like, what's the lowest type of doctor I can be? Like, what's the least, like the lowest level where people have to call me doctor? Turns out it's orthodontist. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so I just decided like that I would go shadow an orthodontist. Now, my dad, who was the janitor, to pay for our braces, he would clean an office here in town. There's a doctor, an orthodontist named Rick Teal. He's like old school, way back, nicest guy ever. But we would clean his office so that he could do my braces. And I knew him pretty well and talked to him, and we stayed in touch, and he helped and shepherded me through the process. And I mean, it was just totally just arbitrarily chosen. If I could have chosen, my preferred profession would have been, I really would have loved to do landscaping. I still like it to this day.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to be a high school teacher. But Daisha points out,
Really?
yeah, and coach. But Daisha points out, I never would have lasted. I would have got fired immediately. I might have made it for like the first few months until the parent teacher like conferences, and they would have been like, okay, bye. I'm just
Why?
Zabby, like I'm not. Some people are not meant to have bosses. Can you imagine me as an employee? You've been in my practice. You know how it is. Dude, it's just
I feel like you could be a good employee. You'd just be like the crack up. Everyone would like know you for just making the jokes.
Yes, but it's like a bad combo because I do like to do things my own way. And I do have like this weird kind of misplaced arrogance. It doesn't come from anywhere. It doesn't come from any skill, but it comes from like, I think this is the right way. And I just can't imagine anyone putting up with me. I think I wouldn't mind being unemployed, but I think to them, I would just be a burr under their saddle. And so it works out good. I think that I was meant to be my own boss and choose my own employees and choose my own environment. I mean, when you came to JFO, you've probably been to other dental offices and other businesses. It's very unique. And it's like,
it is. Yeah.
And you can't imagine like that type of business thriving under a different person. Right. So
no, not really. Like, I don't think I could go through there and not know who you were. I don't know a single person that's like, oh, I go to JFO. They're Cole. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And
like everyone just knows who you are.
Yeah. It's just a part of like the branding is just, I'm just a huge part of it. And I think there are some good things about it. There's obviously things that are fraught with difficulty because I'm so tied into the actual brand. Like if I ever had to retire or hand it off to someone or even have an associate, I think it'd be very hard for people to like where's Dr. J?
Yeah.
You know, so, but at the end of the day, we straightened teeth. Yours turned out great. Are we rolling? We're rolling, right?
Yeah.
Because there was something I wanted to do now that we're talking about this. I'm going to make sure I send Jesse these photos. But,
oh no.
Okay. So this is, okay. Okay. We'll make sure you send these to you so you guys can get them on there. But this is our girl the day she came in to get her braces. Okay.
Oh, I was going through a phase.
Okay. This cute little snaggle. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, I know.
And then, but watch the glow up just happen, bro. Okay. She gets her braces on.
Yep.
We see the little teeny tiny glow up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see, oh, hey, now look how cute. And finally, bro, you can't argue with that. Listen, you can't argue with results. And of course, you've grown up since then. You're beautiful and you clearly wear your retainers, correct? Oh my gosh. Stop the podcast right now.
Okay, I wear my top retainers. I don't wear my bottom retainers.
Okay, I really am committed to good vibes during this podcast. Let's move on.
No,
but it still looks great.
Let's break this down.
Okay,
you gotta listen to this.
Oh, girl, the investment.
Gotta take a deep breath.
Is Deidre here? Okay, never mind. I won't even.
I put in my top retainers.
Go on.
And I wear them almost every night.
Almost every night.
Bottom retainers.
Does that mean like 3 nights a week? Does that mean like 5?
No, almost like
so like
5.
You're 5, 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottom retainers. Haven't put them in like 3 months.
Do they just not fit or what's up, girl?
They don't fit and it hurts. Like all of a sudden.
Immediately after this, a little bit, but easy fix. Got you. Okay. It's not as bad as I suspected. We're okay. Okay. All right, I got you. As soon as this podcast ends, I'm going to make you call office, make sure to say, hey, Dr. J wants to see me to make sure that those snaggles don't go out of control. Lest we forget what it used to be like, right?
No, it's not.
We're all the past informs us how we should behave in the future. Savvy. I'm going to text this to you, just remind you, like, is this what you want? Is this what you want?
I'm going to get a text at 1 a.m. Someone's going to be like, why are you getting set threats? I'm like, it's my orthodontist.
Dude, sorry.
I'm not wearing my retainers.
He's on the prowl and he's very defensive of his smiles. Anyway, but you look great.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I filmed my braces journey, actually.
You did?
Do you not remember that? My video went viral.
I do. Oh my God. Because that was back in 2023.
2023.
Yeah. I remember right after the pandemic, you got started.
Yep.
And
yeah. And I filmed that all the way through to the Girl Meets World sound that I loved.
Yeah.
And then I tagged you guys and it started just blowing up. And then I got really scared and took it down.
You're like, I don't know if I want this on the internet.
Once I think it made it to 100K and I was just like, no, I'm out of here. I'm sorry. I can't do this. Wow. And the thing is, I've been trying so hard to go viral since and it just doesn't work.
Sorry. Well, hey, maybe it starts again with this podcast. Here we go.
Exactly. This is the whole point of this podcast. Anyway, so we talked about you having braces in the past with Dr. Teal. Which one do you like more or align with, braces or aligners?
Ooh, that's such a good question. So when I was a kid, I got braces. Aligners really hadn't turned into a thing. And then as a young man, I wasn't the best at wearing my retainers, which is why I'm so sensitive to that, but I'm also very forgiving. So I ended up having to do my braces again as an orthodontist. And I did both.
Goodness.
So you can imagine me like as a young, like 27, 28-year-old, like just beginning to learn my braces skills, like literally in the mirror, just like putting on my own braces.
Oh my goodness.
Because some companies would give us these free cases and I was just trying to practice. So by far, braces is a better experience from my perspective and from the doctor perspective. Like it's so much more customizable. Like what happens when you come in for aligners, you teenagers out there, they're like, what do I want? Basically, aligners are, you come in and you measure and you send a bunch of emails and you basically think out like, how do I want this smile to turn out? And you put it in the algorithm and it churns out a bunch of trays. And you're just trying to guess, Savvy. So they put them in and hopefully while you're growing as a teenager, they still fit, but often they don't. So you end up having to scan again. It's not quite as sexy and seamless as it seems in the advertisements. I mean, in the Invisalign ads, there's people like running through a field of tulips with like this weird like sheet and everything seems so amazing. Like, no, it's like you got to put those things in. And after you eat like a little snack, you got to brush and put it back in. And the thing that patients love about aligners is that they can take them out whenever they want.
And that means they don't wear them.
Right. But that's the thing that orthodontists hate about aligners. Like I hate that you can take them out whenever you want because your teeth just end up going like back and forth. So by far the most efficient and elegant way to get done is you put a handle on every tooth. And then every time they come in, you're like, okay, I see your face changing. Like you can see how different your face was.
Face
like, and as you go, I remember I'd always come around the front, like hold you by your little chin and just be like, okay, looking at it. And then we're just plan out like, okay, I see your cheekbones, I see your jawline. And we're just tweaking the teeth every time until we're pretty sure you're pretty close to getting through your growth spurt. And then we can put the retainers in. It's so much more fun than doing aligners. Aligners work great. And I do them all the time because people sometimes come in, they're like, they demand them. And if you demand them, I'm going to do them for you. That's totally fine. But if I had my druthers on my kids and nieces and nephews and the people that I can just tell, no, you're doing this, that we just do braces because I'm able to customize it much like a carpenter would like make a custom cabinet for somebody as opposed to like bringing home some IKEA furniture and just putting it together. So IKEA furniture is like the Invisalign where you just like, it comes in a little kit and you do it and it's fine. And hopefully it fits in your apartment and yeah, that's cute. But like, the guy who rolls up his sleeves and like, no, we're going to make a custom piece for this wall. That's what I like to do.
It just comes better.
Yeah. More, it just fits people's face individually and I can tweak it along the way. So.
Oh, I like that joke. That fits people's face.
Fits.
Because you're fitting the.
Hey!
See, you got it.
I got it.
Yeah, I actually loved having braces. It was
fun, huh?
It was really fun. And definitely when I got them off, it was so different. I was just like, oh my goodness, I do look a lot different.
Dude, and that's the fun thing too, Savvy Faith. When you got your braces off, there was this huge ta-da. Like it was like you had them off, you had them on one moment, and then you had them off one moment. And it was, I mean, you looked great. It felt slimy, but there's like this awesome reveal. When people are done with their aligners, they're just kind of like, it's like a little bit anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But again, everyone who is diligent about an orthodontic treatment, no matter where you go, we have great orthodontists in town, by the way, like super good guys and gals that are very talented. We don't have really bad orthodontists in town, which is super awesome. Like if my wife couldn't bring their kids to me, like I would feel comfortable with taking them anywhere else. But there is that fun reveal of like actually getting the braces off. When with the aligners, you just like your last tray becomes your retainer and it's just a little bit like, oh, am I done? Like, yeah, you're done.
A little anticlimactic.
For sure.
I loved the reveal and I got so many compliments the day I got them off.
That was fun, huh?
I do remember that very vividly.
Dude, tough to beat that day you get your braces off, huh?
Because middle school is so hard. So the day you get something
So
good,
hard.
you can't forget it. It's just
Yeah. The days in middle school that were like red letter days where you're just like walking on, your tiptoes and feeling so good on cloud nine. There are not that many at that age.
No.
So you remember those days and they mean a lot. Good.
Yeah.
That makes me happy because I love to hear those types of stories. It's so fun. It's such a fun profession.
Yeah.
By the way, let me tell your audience, my dream is to pass on my practice to a local person from Salem. Like there's a lot of investment groups. So big companies that have a lot of money always make offers like, hey, Dr. J, we'll buy JFO for this much and we can staff it with these doctors and we can pay your employees. I'm like, it doesn't appeal to me at all. No matter how many zeros they put in the check, like to buy the practice, I'm like, no way. I'm holding out until I get some kid. I don't think it'll be one of my kids. My kids, like all kids, they think that what their dad does is dumb. And so
Really?
they're like, orthodontist, that's not very cool. And I agree with him. I'm like, yeah, it's not. But I do think some kid out there from Salem will go through and they'll be like, I'm going to be the person. So I need someone about 15 years from now that's ready to just get the keys to the kingdom.
Who dreams to be an orthodontist.
Dude,
That's all she talks about.
Okay, so when she calls the office and says, hey, I want a shadow, she can come in. Super fun. I'll just show her like what it's like. Because really, if you stayed there for a day or two, you'd be able to see like, okay, this is what it's like. And I think it's so fun and it's amazing. But I'm so adamant about wanting to pass on my legacy to another person who's really centered in the community. Hopefully you can tell that my practice is like, it's like a Salem practice.
It is, yeah.
It's not Dallas. It's not Kaiser. It is Salem. We try to sponsor things from here. We're like all in on whatever makes Salem better, dude. We're in on it.
So your practice has a specific environment. You've made that very clear. What would be your theme song for
Oh my
JFO?
God. Okay. Theme songs always change. If for a long time it was Adventure Time. Do you remember the
Oh my gosh, yes!
I know you know it fits the vibe so well. Adventure Time. So that was what it was forever. You guys know what Adventure Time is. Everyone,
hopefully.
Especially your age, everyone knows.
Yeah.
But now, and then every once in a while I hear a song, I'm like, no, this is our new theme song. So right now it's Pink Pony Club and it has been for about 18 months. And so I'm sure there'll be a song that will come along that will usurp it as the theme song. But for now, man, we're all in on Pink Pony Club. So you'll have to ask me again later. And I'll
sponsor me, Chaperone.
Chaperone.
We can get that on here.
She's a vibe. I love her. And that song speaks to me.
Oh, yeah, from the heart.
Yeah, for no particular reason. But yeah.
Why did you pick a unicorn?
Okay, the unicorn thing is actually totally random story. It started out as a joke because when we opened our practice, Savvy, we did free braces for foster kids. Mm-hmm. My mom, her dad died, and there was a man who kind of took her on as her father, mm-hmm. even though he didn't formally adopt her. And I'm super grateful to him. His name's Thurman, and that's why I named my last son Thurman. Mm-hmm. It's kind of an interesting name, but that's where that comes from. So when I became an orthodontist, I thought from the get-go, I want to do something like to give back. And so I just randomly I had this girl come in and she just reminded me of my mom so much because I think she's about 15, 16. I got pregnant. She had really crooked teeth and she really wanted braces. And I thought this will be the one. I'm going to start and I'm just going to do, she was in the foster kid program. So I started to do free braces for her. And then her caseworker referred me another person a few months later. And so just slowly I started to do when I could free braces for foster kids. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the year, someone found out that I'd been doing free braces for foster kids and they came in and they made a donation. They said, hey, I hear you've been doing braces for foster kids. Let me write you a check so you can do more. And I just took it and I was like, oh my gosh, because back then I was not making hardly any money at all. I made enough to pay my employees a fair wage, but I just did not make much beyond that. In fact, mm-hmm. It wasn't even enough for me and Daisha to take home money. We were living in a 900 square foot apartment with no heating, no cooling. We were setting mouse traps and rat traps every night. It was like, because we were like, when you start your own business, like it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard now. Trust me. It was still hard back then.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I was like, oh my gosh. And so I cashed it and I just obviously used it to buy more braces and stuff, but it just felt like a relief to get something. But at the end of the year, I'm sitting down with my accountant. He's like, what's this $5,000? Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, it's from some guy. He owns a business and he was from like, I think Tualatin area. And he's like, I was a foster kid. He's like, you give it to me. He's like, bro, you're not a 401c or whatever. Like you're not a charitable, you're not a not-for-profit organization. You can't take that money. It's like, well, I did and I spent it. He's like, so I had to pay a penalty. Anyway, so.
Oh gosh.
And he's like, you can't take charitable donations, but yet people, you can't do that. If you're like a for-profit business. You can't just, hey, just donate to our cause. You can't do that.
I
So
didn't know.
in comes in Mr. Sprinkles. So what happened is I had these little stuffed animals made. I only had a few of them at the beginning. So when someone came in and they gave me a donation for the foster kid program, we would thank them and I would give them a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
So on the line item for the business, it would say unicorn sale. So at the end of the next year, and I got another few $1,000s of donations, the accountant was like, what are these? What are these? I'm like, oh, we sell these stuffed animal unicorns. Wait, what? It's like, yeah, we sell these. Like, and somebody bought one for $100. Yeah. So that was our sneaky way to accept donations.
I love that. That's thinking.
And obviously we'll do about 20. We do a lot of, I mean, I think overall the last 15 years, we've been able to do like over 200. The donations that people give, usually it's like $10 or $5 or whatever. And it's, we would do it without the donations, but it does offset the cost of braces, which are expensive. But it is kind of fun to just like have something we're like, oh, when a kid comes in and they're like, I really want a unicorn. I'm like, no, we don't give them away. They're thank yous for people who donate to foster kids. And of course, little stupid Sydney and little, Xavier, they don't know. They don't know what that is. So I explained to them like, there are kids that don't have moms and dads. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, there are kids that don't have moms and dads. And we only give these to people who like give them a chance. And so they'll come up with they'll come in with their $5. They'll do jobs. It's so cute. They'll come in and they're like, so I did some jobs for my grandma and she gave me $5 for the little program. And then we give them their, crap savvy. I'm getting all emotional. But so, and then we give it to them and they love that feeling of like, hey, I got this, but this means that some kid who doesn't have mom and dad got braces. And so it's become just a little symbol. Anyway, long story. That's the reason why that's the little symbol of our practice.
I love that so
and
much.
Yeah, so now we are luckily successful enough that basically a part of every person who gets braces at our office, we just take a little portion and we go towards that. So it's a self-sustaining thing. We do not need donations. We're totally fine. If you want to, we're happy to, gift you a unicorn for thank you. But it was really a way to work around like my illegal moves of taking charitable donations when I didn't know that I couldn't.
Right.
And so now it's just,
it's a unicorn.
It's just our thing. It's just our thing now.
Makes sense. I couldn't imagine growing up without a mom or dad. And I think that's so special that you guys do that. And I feel like that just drives not only for like the business aspect or like you're not super money, you're for the people. And I think that's what makes Davos so much different from everyone else.
You're very kind.
You care.
It is hard to say that money is not the main driver because I've got employees and I do have patients who like money is, this is the way I describe money to my kids. Like money it's not an important thing, but it's at the very top of the page of unimportant things. So it's the most important of the unimportant things, but it's not really important. So you still have to keep it in mind. And really, when it comes to the money part, we do have to like be able to give of ourselves because you'd think that Oregon would, of all the things that we pay for with our taxes. I mean, when you get older and you start paying your tax, you'll see like how much money you give back to the state and you'll see what they use it for. And it'll frustrate you so much. Yeah. You would think, Savvy, that they would be able to get braces for people who are their children. So a foster kid in Oregon is the custodial parent. Like they're the actual parent. Okay. But they don't pay for braces. It's wild. And we're one of the only states that does that. So really it does turn into a money thing, but I know what you're saying. And it's just like, if you make the goodwill your main priority, the money comes. And sometimes it's not enough, or sometimes it's not a lot, but it's always enough. So any business owner, of course you have to worry about money, but if you just make the good, like giving back to the community, one of your main things, the community will always reward you. And I've never been disappointed. If I ever am like, shoot, I don't know if I can support this thing or this thing. Whenever I'm like, Daisha and I will get together and we're like, look where we came from. Like we can do this. Whenever we make that sacrifice, the returns are always way more than we had ever bargained for. So it's always worth it. But we do try to take care of our employees, pay them well, and spoil them when we can, and take care of the money part of it, but I love that you recognize that it really is not our main focus. The main focus is just community.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on the other side of things, I think everyone loves a good love story. It sounds like you have a high school sweetheart. So
do.
what's the story there?
Okay, so my wife Daisha was 2 years younger than me, and you've been in high school. I mean, right now you're a junior, right?
We have this rule though. Now, if your grades don't touch, neither do you. So I don't know if I can hear you out.
Listen,
on this one.
but that could apply because when I say that, so when my wife and I, so Daisha, when she was like a little 8th grader, you know, and 7th, 8th grader, when she started to like me, I didn't know for a long time. I was just like a little freshman, sophomore boy and none the wiser. But at that age, it seems like a huge gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But finally, my senior year, she turned 16.
Mm-hmm.
She was a sophomore, and she turned 16 her sophomore year. And me as a senior, I could finally ask her out on a date because her family rule is that she couldn't go on dates until she was 16.
16, wow.
So even though she liked me for a long time and I started to like her, I was very respectful to her parents, and we'd see each other at track practice, and we might sit next to each other at a basketball game or whatever, but we never hung out, you know?
Yeah.
And then the day she turned 16, I knocked on her door while she was at school, and her mom answered, and I said, hey, and she invited me in, and I said, and her mom knew me, and she knew that her daughter had liked me for a long time. So I sat down with them, and they were very conservative, so different from my family. My family was a little bit a little rough around the edges, like super good people, but just so different from my wife's family, who were like so prim and proper, so like, I don't even know how to describe it, but you guys know those families where they're just like that, right? My family's like, whatever. So I needed to make sure that they were comfortable with it because I was 2 years older, right? So I sit down with her mom, Shawnee, and I was like, hey, is it okay if I ask your daughter out on her first date? She's turning 16 this Wednesday. And her mom was just like, oh, well, and at that point I was a senior boy, and I was like captain of the football team, like this. I know to you, I'm just like an old gross dude. But back when I was in high school, I was like, you know, Mr. Olympian, like all the little, like I was that guy. And I think that she was a little bit nervous, like, who is it? Why would this guy be interested in my little sophomore daughter, who was like such a sweetie, such a cutie, but like definitely not in the super popular kind of out there crowd. Like we didn't run in the same circles at all. So it was in the Venn diagrams of our lives in high school, they had not overlapped yet. So it was kind of a random pairing.
Yeah.
So made her mom comfortable, and I wasn't trying to be manipulative or schmoozy. I was just really saying like, hey, I think she's a sweetie. And I was friends with her brother, and she's like, okay, you can ask her on her date. So I showed up on that was on a Monday, came by on Wednesday.
On her birthday,
gave her 6 little pink roses, and I was like, hey, do you mind if I take you out on your first date to celebrate? And she's like, oh my God. So she played it cool. And then I find out later, like in her diary, that she was like, oh my gosh. But took her to the Olive Garden. Girl, eat all the breadsticks you want, man. So we took her to Olive Garden, and we watched Jumanji. And that's the beginning of the beginning. And then here we are 25 years later with 8 kids, bro. Wow.
That's a lot of kids. What ages are they? You got to list them out.
So my oldest daughter, Macy, she just got married. She's 22.
Okay.
To the nicest kid ever. His name's Ethan. Love that little family. My wife and I it's so fun to see my daughter get married to her person, and especially very young. I know it's not very common to get married young anymore, but the kids that do it and that are on the same page, it's very beautiful. And then my youngest is Thurman. His name's Thurman. Remember, named after my mom's dad, or the guy that stepped in as her dad. And he's 7. So, and then it goes Macy, Dominic, Tessa, Claire, Alice, Charlotte, Anthony, Thurman. Yeah, that's 8, I think. Oh man, I hope I didn't forget anyone. I'm sorry, guys.
That'd be really funny. I just see a random comment. Thanks a lot, Dad.
I saw that. I'm like, who are you? Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're the other one.
You're the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only have 2 siblings, and they're at different households, so I couldn't.
How's Journey doing?
She's doing good.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good. Finally made it back from the hospital. It had a little bit of a rough patch, but doing a lot better.
So was she able
So-
to do her Make-A-Wish thing?
Yes,
For that.
she was.
Okay, good.
It was beautiful. Her room theme was up.
Oh,
And
sweet.
it was
That
just,
is so cute.
they did murals and they did like decorated her whole room. It was
Dude,
amazing.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have a heart for that kind of stuff. It's so sweet.
Yeah. And off screen, we talked about South Salem community and
Mhm.
Sprague community, but specifically South Salem in this case. I got together all the cheerleaders and they all came over to the house. So they're all shaking their palms for Journey's reveal.
Oh, I bet she loved that.
She loved it so much. And yeah.
You forget that age of girl. I mean, my daughters are going through the age. So I have a daughter, Charlotte. She's like 8, 9. And then a daughter, Alice, like middle school age. Do you remember being that age and when you meet like a beautiful group of high school girls or like women in their early 20s, like they are literal Disney princesses to them.
Oh, yeah.
The way that
sure.
they look at them. Like when do you remember the assistants that used to work on you? Those nice, sweet, beautiful girls that would just, I just saw the way that you would look at them and like.
I wanted to be them so bad.
The influence that you can have as a young woman especially from like 17 to 25. I hope that girls your age take that so seriously. And that they understand how powerful what they do and how they act and how they dress and just the way that they become the woman they were going to become, how important that is, because I've seen my sister. I have 5 sisters and I have 5 daughters and I've had dozens and dozens of employees. And I just know how girls of a certain age, especially like 7 to 13, 14, really look up to girls 10 years older than them. Yeah. And that's where they take their social cues. Like, is this what is normal? Is this what is good? How do you get attention? And they pay attention to those things and they emulate it and they want to be it. So first of all, thank you for being that kind of person for the coming generation.
I appreciate that.
Awesome.
I love little kids. I think they're super cute and we always do camps and stuff and I always get the most
Isn't
excited.
That so fun?
And they're like, all right, Savvy, you're in charge. We're like, yes.
So
like
fun.
I love it so much.
And they love it. And here's the thing, as much as you love it, those girls love it way more. It's to them, it's like going to Disneyland and meeting Jasmine, Moana, Ariel, Belle. It's the same thing to them.
That was one of my dreams as a kid, was to be a Disney princess. So sad that didn't work out, but you know what? You have backups.
I shared that same dream and I was like,
you need to be a Disney princess.
Yeah, I just couldn't fit into the dress.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good for
Didn't have the hips for it.
Yeah.
What's the funniest thing that's happened while you're giving someone braces?
Oh my gosh. I just trying to scroll through the Rolodex of all the funny things that happened.
Because I know I accidentally bit someone's finger. I felt really,
At my office?
Yeah, I felt really
I'm going to look in the chart notes to see who it was, because I was write that stuff down. Okay, so, you remember I would always like tease you. Like, I always tease the patients and stuff. If you come to JFO and I look at your parents and I say, I'm going to treat your kid just like I would treat my own kids, that doesn't mean I'm going to be super nice to them. It means I'm going to tease them. That's what it means. Yeah. And that's part of the vibe. Like, I love my patients and they love me and they dish it to me. So some girl said the funniest thing to me. So she's about the age we were talking about, 13, 14-year-old girl. She finally got a phone. She finally got Instagram. Oh, gosh. And she's like, Dr. Johnson, do you have an Instagram? Because I have my Instagram. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got Instagram. Like, so I showed it to her and she immediately started following me. And then her next appointment, I started teasing her because I'm like, girl, so you follow me now. Like, and she just started liking a bunch of pictures. But she started way back in, like, she didn't like the recent one. She went way back, which is kind of weird. She's like, went way back and started liking them. I'm like, and she's like, well, yeah, I was just liking the pictures that I thought were good of you. And I was like, oh. She's like, but why did you start in like 2018? And she goes, oh, that was the last time I thought that you looked good. I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you started to look kind of old. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what does that even mean? She's such a dork. So she was just
started to look old.
She's like, well, why did you like those photos from way back in the day? I was like, oh, that was the last time you looked good. I was like, oh, okay, maybe. Okay. Then the other thing,
I'm scared of getting old.
Shoot, no, you will age totally fine. I think I have
like
to,
my mom.
but listen, here's the thing, Savvy. There's no way, like, you only have to compare yourself to yourself. Okay. That's the only fair comparison. Compare yourself to yourself. As long as you're looking good compared to, the best version of you, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you compare yourself to anyone 10 years older or younger than you, you're going to lose some battles. Like compared to a girl 10 years younger than you, you're just not going to be able to do like flips and jumps and like
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work out for me.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, the other story that was super funny is, I was teasing some kid about their grammar, like the way that they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me to read something that they were needed to turn in. So, and I like to read. I was pretty good in English. And if I was to teach in high school, I'd probably teach English. I was telling them like, why you would use certain punctuation. And she's writing this essay for college. So I'm like, if you put a colon in a sentence, it totally changes the meaning. Mm-hmm. And she looks at me like, what? I was like, yeah, if you like changing the punctuation changes the grammar. And I just said, yeah, if you put colon in a sentence, it would totally change the meaning. Mm-hmm. So she's like, you mean like if you got stuck, like for instance, Dr. Johnson got stuck in an elevator, he couldn't get out, as opposed to Dr. Johnson got stuck in a colon and he couldn't get out. I was like, oh my gosh, you don't know what colon is. Like she didn't understand what she thought I was talking about like the body part.
Oh my gosh.
So I couldn't tell. No. Like I was like, oh my gosh, your essay needs more help than I thought. But it's like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
I hope she's listening. I hope she's mortified.
We were learning. That's so mean, but so funny.
So the whole time I was trying to explain to her what a colon is.
Uh-huh.
And she's looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
Like just putting the word colon in a sentence changes the meaning? She's like, well, duh. Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
That would make sense.
We were learning about connotation, and I will never forget this lesson. This was like, I think it was freshman year. Our teacher was like, it's like I have 100 kids in my basement. I have 100 kids in my basement. I have 100 kids in my basement. And we never forgot that because he was such a creep. Yes. And we were like, wow, that's the
emphasis matters. I have 100 kids in my basement.
In my basement.
Oh.
Or he would say like, I don't eat people alive. I don't eat people alive.
I don't eat people alive.
I don't eat people alive.
That's so weird. Please tell me, don't get that snort on there and just make sure we get that snort. It's so important.
You don't get it. I have probably 8 different laughs. You have to keep me going in some sort of different way. I have,
they all end with a snort.
I have the Weezer. I just like I laugh at anything that's funny, or I have the goose. That
one when you're really going,
Then I have that one's.
Okay, let me ask you a few questions.
Okay,
how do you choose your guests for this podcast?
It's pretty random, to be honest. But the thing is, I want to look for people who remind me of Salem. Does that make sense? So if people really resonate with this town or have done something straight from Oregon, then I'm like, oh, well, this is perfect. You're going to go somewhere with your life, or you've already been somewhere with your life, and it's started from Salem. So I want to get to this certain younger group of people from ages 10 to 25, and I just want to make sure that they know where they're going in life and that I can help them get there, and I can figure out my own stuff as I'm doing this too, because I learn a lot from this, just seeing how different people work and what they started from, because everyone's journey is so different than what you just expect it to be. And I'm just I want to do something with my life. I love listening to people and hearing their stories, and I feel like it can always help me get somewhere. And I know that if it can help me get somewhere, it can help other kids too.
I love that. How long have you been at this?
Not very long, to be honest. I think it started in August, and then I've just been trying to get people in as much as I can, whoever kind of wants to be on the podcast. Obviously, it's a little hard when there's nothing to talk about. So obviously there's if you have something super mainstream going on in your life, tell me about it. Let's hear about it. Let's get you on this podcast. Let's talk about it, break it down. So
have you had any guests that have turned you down?
I don't think so. But I've definitely had people say, "Oh, can we do it in like December?" and like just like push it out.
Push it out.
Which that does happen, but I understand because I have a really
had to
busy
do it
schedule.
yes, I had to do that a little bit, but I'm super glad I got in here.
Yeah.
Can I ask you why you wanted to do the podcast with me particularly?
I don't know. I feel like not only everyone knows who you are, but also like the connections you have with people. People are going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's hear his story. I tell him everything about my everyday life. Let's hear about this guy,
This
you know?
guy.
And I feel like I heard already a little about your story from me coming into JFO. I kind of wanted to dive into that and hear more about it because I think it's pretty cool. And I don't know.
Dr. Johnson he's like, it's like seafood. You know how some people really love seafood, like it's their favorite,
Mm-hmm.
and then some people are like allergic to it. Like, that's how it is. You either like many people are like, I love Dr. J. He's super cool. Like they're huge fans.
Mm-hmm.
Take a bullet for me. And there's some people are like, I just can't. And that's gonna be like you're gonna go through this trajectory.
That's me, actually. I'm not a big fan.
So,
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
But you are gonna go through life, and you're gonna have some people that really, really, no matter what you do, they're going to be behind you, and they're gonna be huge fans. And you can't listen to them too closely because they're like your grandma. Your grandma's like, you could do nothing wrong. And your grandma's like, no, she's perfect. Shouldn't listen to grandma too much. Just understand that she means well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't listen to the critics too much because critics are just too hard on you. And sometimes your loved ones are just too easy on you. So you should never make the mistake of like just listening to one side or the other. Like,
yeah.
So that's been the one challenge I've had as like growing up in Salem and this is my hometown, is hearing things from both sides. And if I were to believe the positive press, I would think that I was an amazing human being who was so important and so like great and all these things, which I know they're not completely true. I hope they're mostly true, but they're definitely not completely true. And if I believed my 1-star reviews, like I should be in jail. So it's like, you can't believe the 5-star reviews or the 1-star reviews. You're just like, listen, nobody's a 1-star and nobody's a 5-star.
I'm pretty 5-star some days.
Exactly.
Some days.
I'm sure you are.
Keyword some days.
Some days. Really just the one piece of advice I would give to anyone who doesn't even know like where to start to like build their personal brand, or like even before you understand what you're going to do with your life. Here are the 3 ingredients, Savvy Faith. You just decide that you are going to always be these 3 qualities. No matter what else you are, you need to be these 3 things. You need to be super kind, be super, super nice to people, be very friendly, just be a kind person, someone who's known for like having positive interactions. Okay. You don't need to be over the top. You don't need to be anything, you don't have to jump off the page. You don't have to be doing cartwheels or be a cheerleader, but you have to be kind. The second thing, you just have to work hard. People value hard work. In every culture, every religion, kindness and hard work are 2 essential ingredients to being a good human being. And the third one is just being honest, like actually like really making sure that you tell the truth about like, and be genuine. And if you are kind and you are hardworking and you are honest, then you can be anything else you want to be. You can be police officer, nurse, landscaper, janitor, orthodontist, and you really will be okay. But if you decide to skimp on any of those one of those 3 things, nothing will work. Those are the 3 little legs that your little stool stands on. If you take off one of the legs, you'll fall over. You cannot not be kind. You cannot not be honest, and you cannot not be a hard worker. And so it's just, I think people, before they decide what they're going to channel their energy to, they just need to make good habits of being like, even before you get good grades, even before you get in shape, even before you get your scholarship, even before you fill out your application, just like, okay, check, got my 3 things. I'm going to have a good day. And my good day involves a lot of honesty, never embellish, don't make up stuff. Okay. Kindness, always find the positive. And then I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to put in a good effort. That's where it all begins. And I can see the young people your age, and I can see that the ones that prioritize those 3 things, dude, all I do is sit back, and I don't even wonder what you're going to be or what you're going to do. I just like to sit back and like, I can't wait to see what that is. It doesn't matter if you're those 3 things. What anything else is going to be, it's going to be a success.
Yeah. I think one of the best indirect compliments that I've ever received was a girl who didn't really like me. but somebody else was saying something about me, and she's like, well, no, that's not true. She's always nice. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
something that I love to hear, because that's someone who doesn't like me because she thinks I'm obnoxious, which is
Mhm.
fine. I do have a lot of personality.
Yeah, and
But
I'm right there with you.
but she said, no, that's not savvy. And so that just like, I was like, I really have a character that's out there that's like,
Yeah.
even the people who don't like me
Right.
don't have
And when
anything
you
bad
get
to say about
criticism,
that specific.
exactly. And I love that you pointed that out. If you do get criticism, and it's not about one of those three things,
Mhm.
it's not a criticism of your honesty, it's not a criticism of your kindness, and it's not a criticism of your work ethic, then really, what could somebody say to make you feel bad? Like, oh, Cole, he's a lot, or he's unprofessional sometimes, or
Mhm.
Savvy, she's just too much for, who cares? That's fine. It doesn't have to be your flavor. Like,
But it's never she's mean to people or you bully people.
yeah, anything with those three ingredients. Like, you know what's crazy to think about? I love to bake. Love to bake. And every piece of bread, it doesn't matter if it's a hamburger bun or a bagel or any type of bread, sourdough, there's three essential ingredients.
Mhm.
There's flour, there's yeast, and there's water. Every one of those carbohydrates that you eat, again, from the bagel to the most fanciest bread to just white bread that you make, they all have those three ingredients. And as long as they have those three ingredients, you can add salt, you can add honey, you can add bagel seasoning, you can add spices, herbs, rosemary, like you can get fancy with it. But bread all has to have those three things, and that
Mhm.
makes a good bread.
Right.
So when you think about those three ingredients, like if they criticize, well, this bagel doesn't have any, it's not sweet enough. Well, dude, it's not supposed to be sweet. It's a bagel.
Mhm.
It has the three ingredients. It's got flour and it's got yeast and it's got water. So chill. It's a bagel. Pretzel's a pretzel. Okay.
Mhm.
Like sourdough, sandwich bread, a baguette's a baguette. And so that's what when you get criticism from people, you have to be like, are they insulting, or are they criticizing me on an essential ingredient? And if they are calling you out on your honesty, if they are calling you out on your work ethic, and they are calling you out on your and your kindness, then you have to change. There's definite criticism that you need to listen to and you need to change, because if they're calling you out on an essential ingredient that is lacking,
Mhm.
then you're not bread anymore. Okay.
Mhm.
But if they're like, too much salt, I don't like that topping, or rosemary, garlic is not my thing in sourdough, that's fine. That's a preference thing. But I'm still bread. And to some people, I'm objectively a delicious piece of bread. I know, random analogy, but that's the way I think about it.
Yeah, no. How do you keep a straight face when people are drooling mid-conversation with you?
Oh my God. There's so many awkward times, Savvy, where I have to be talking to someone and they've just got like goop on their face, or they're just like, they have the stretch marks from the things. And how do I stop from laughing? You know me, I don't. Normally what I'll do is I'll stop laughing just enough and just say, hey, can I see your phone? And I'll just take a picture of them real quick and just give it back to them and say, that's what you look like right now. How am I supposed to even take you seriously? So that's usually what happens. But
Mhm.
I don't hold back. I don't laugh at them. They laugh at me. Trust me. It's so funny. It's funny. I guarantee there were moments when you were in your braces, you're like, Dr. Johnson, like, can you move this tooth this way? I'm like, you are just.
I made you shave down my teeth.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did a little recontouring.
Mhm.
That actually helped a ton.
It did.
You had some snaggles that were a little bit worn down.
Yeah, a little bit.
It does look
But
good. You're gonna
I
make your
did-
appointment.
I loved that though, the one you flattened them, because they had like these
The little ridges, yeah.
and I really didn't like those
Mamelons,
ridges.
they're called. Yes.
Mamelons.
Mm-hmm.
New word, new buzzword.
New
I'm gonna
buzzword.
say that. Somebody makes
Mind
me
your
mad.
mamelons.
Somebody makes me mad. I'm gonna be like, wow, I can really see your mamelons
It's like,
right now.
Mamelon much? Look it up. Look it up. Look up mamelons.
Okay. Mamelons are small rounded bumps on the edges of a child's new permanent teeth that disappear naturally over time through normal chewing. I never got that. Like, they didn't go away.
Yeah, because if you grow up and your bite is off, then they don't wear down in normal ways. They wear down in funky ways, or they get worse. So you gotta
Oh my
recontour.
goodness.
Like when you get a manicure, and the last thing an orthodontist does is when you get your braces off,
Mhm.
they'll look at your teeth and make sure they all look like sisters, you know? So like, you know, when you get a manicure, they make sure that everything is the same length and all the angles are right. So it looks like they all belong on the same hand.
Mhm.
We do the same thing. We make sure every tooth belongs in the same face so that they look like they match. That's one of the things that makes things look like ta-da. So
perfect. Yeah.
We took care of your
good to know.
mamelons for you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
welcome.
that one.
She's mamelon free.
Mamelon free. What's your Halloween costume this year? Or is that waiting for it to be revealed?
This will air after Halloween, right? I'm gonna dress like one of my heroes, and my wife she's like, don't do it. I'm like, it's okay. If anyone can dress as this, I can dress as this. I'm gonna dress as a Mormon missionary.
Okay.
My son's on a mission.
Do it.
I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I have no shame. And I just think they're adorable with their little plaque and their little shirt and their little bike helmet. And so I got my whole thing. And she's like, people are going to think you're making fun of them. I'm like, of course I am. But I love them.
My best friend.
I was one. Yeah.
My best friend is Mormon. Well, she's very specific about saying the Christian of Latter-day Saints.
Yes.
Something about that.
Mormon, this is interesting. We don't call ourselves Mormon. That is something that people have historically called us.
Mm-hmm.
And originally it was Mormons don't take it as an insult.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't call ourselves that.
Mm-hmm.
When you call someone a Mormon, all it means is like, oh, you don't know that that's not the actual name of what we call ourselves. So it's not like offensive, but it's more like you'll just score some points and seem sophisticated when you say, oh, are you a member of the Church of Jesus Christ? Or are you a Latter-day Saint? Or, but when people say Mormons, nobody means bad by it, but it's like it was a name given to us to make fun of us originally.
No.
You'll eventually just, I'm sure your friend who politely says like, oh, we're actually, they're just trying to like.
Yeah, no. I actually love to learn about that because then I can just know more about it. And I like being educated. And
it's one thing that we have not done a good job of like policing it. And I think that's good. We shouldn't be polices of it, but people are getting more and more aware about like, making sure that people are known by the thing that they want to be known by.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be dressed as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on a mission.
I love that.
And I asked my son, it's like, Dom, he's in Australia serving his mission. Dom, what do you think if I do this? He's like, dude, that's awesome. It's like, Mom, you should be his companion. Just getting one of those shapeless flowery dresses with a little plaque and stuff. Your little Doc Martens and walk up and down the street. So that's what I'm going to be.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And they're going to be like, they're going to try to find offense in it. They're like, Dr. Jones, you can't dress like that. I'm like, oh, I can. And I am.
Well, happy Halloween to all the people who are listening to this podcast.
Hopefully you're at the JFO trunk or treat.
Yes, have a spooky season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to Savvy Talk. If you would like to be a sponsor to the Savvy Talk podcast or see your name on a mic or somewhere else, we would love for you to comment or DM us on Instagram or any other platform that you see available.